And as I always ask you, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to. And I'm going to start your reading right now for Libra. I'm going to get this out as quickly as I can for you. Excuse me. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, right. The first card you have for your past is the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, this is the ultimate kind of I want to be alone kind of card. You know, it can be about self-sufficiency, you know, financial self-sufficiency, and just wanting to be alone, just being content to be alone. So yeah, there are a few things I'm seeing here. One of the things I'm seeing is you did suffer from a financial loss not long ago. I don't normally talk about timelines, but I think this probably happened around, you know, a few months ago or something like that, a few months to a year ago maybe. And yeah, even though it was a while ago, it was a big loss, and I think it was a big shock as well. And I think what happened was you tried to go out on your own. You might have started your own business or something, and maybe there's some problems around that, or you aspired to do that and then something went wrong and you had to cut that short. And so there are a lot of problems around going out on your own. So I think since that time, I think you've been very, very, very conservative money-wise. I think you have recovered or almost recovered from that now. So you're kind of back to normal now. But yeah, you're very, very conservative financially now because of that. And you've kind of always a little bit worried about losing what you have. But you've recovered from that. You really have. And you did that by yourself. You might have had a little bit of help, but I think you pretty much worked your own way out of a bad situation into a much better one. I'm also seeing a person here, and you don't want to face up to that person. I know that sounds bad, but it's something... Yeah, I hate to tell you this because, you know, I can really feel the stress around this, but you're going to have to face them. You're absolutely going to have to face this person. This is about something practical, and you just need to sort this out. You've been putting this off, I think. You've been kind of by yourself, la, everything's fine, but, you know you have to do this. And I don't think... You've been kind of avoiding this person, but they haven't been contacting you either. They're not putting any pressure on you. Be a bit careful though, because I don't know if, you know, it might be in their best interest to not say anything to you, to just kind of let this thing go. They're a smart person. I don't think they just let things go just because they couldn't be bothered doing anything about them. There's always a reason behind everything they do. So if this is all making sense to you, do this as quickly as you can, because I think you might be losing time, and as time goes on, you might lose out, maybe even financially. That's what I'm seeing. So just watch out for that. If you've got something you're putting off because you're a little bit nervous of a person, don't worry about that. Just face them. Just do it, if that makes sense to you. So yeah, the next card you have for your past is the Queen of Wands. Yeah, the Queen of Wands, you know, she does things, she takes action. So again, this is another message telling you to do something about this. Don't just let it go on and on and on. I'm seeing love here as well. I'm seeing someone who brings a lot of attention to themselves, maybe for some reason. I'm also seeing creativity around them. So I don't know if they have a creative job or something like that. There's a lot of attention around them. I keep on seeing that. Yeah, a lot of people know who they are. That's what I'm seeing. And it's funny because I think on the inside they're actually a bit shy. And you used to know the shy side of them before they kind of changed. So yeah, this is someone you haven't seen for a long time, but you used to know them really, really well. And you might have even been in a relationship with them a long, long time ago. I'm seeing travel around them as well. So they might have traveled to another country even. And yeah, they're returning. They're returning for practical reasons, I think. I don't think they want to return, but they are because they have to. I know this is in the past. And I think I'm seeing them here because you knew them in the past. And this person's going to see you again or meet you through someone else probably. they've been somewhere really interesting and they're coming back to somewhere they think's not so interesting. And yeah, you're going to meet up with them, and this is through someone else initially, I think. And yeah, there's love around this if you're single, obviously. You know, this feels to me like an amazing sequence of events that are leading them to you, leading them toward you. I know that sounds a bit strange, but it's like they're here at this time, you're here at that time, and they come closer and you come closer, and then they meet this person that knows you again, and you're suddenly in front of them again. That's what I'm seeing, and it's really beautiful, and it's a love situation. So the last card you have your past is the Six of Swords. Yeah, I think I keep on seeing this. You knew this person really well a long time ago, and they went away. They love traveling, I keep on seeing that, but they had to come back. And yeah, I think at one time you were thinking about this person all the time. Maybe you even dreamt about them all the time. That's how much you were thinking about them. But, you know, you moved on from them, and, you know I keep on talking about this person, but I keep on seeing them. But now, if you do get together with this person, if you do decide to start a relationship with them, it's going to take time for that to develop, because I think they've been through something really difficult, probably a breakup. There's still a lot of hurt that they're carrying with them, and it's not going to be easy for them to settle either, because they might be coming back to their old city or their old hometown. So, you know, it's not going to be easy for them. But there's definitely love there, and they're going to be seeing you in a new way with fresh eyes. Yeah, it's really nice. And I keep on seeing this sequence. There's events. There's this leading to this, leading to this, and that leads them to you. And no one knows this is happening, but it's happening, all happening for a reason. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have your presence, the Queen of Cups. Yeah, again, there's creativity here. And again, I'm seeing this person again. They're everywhere here. So, you know, you're going to meet whoever this is. You absolutely are. They're a very creative person. I'm seeing that again here. And I'm getting this feeling that, yeah, this is something you really admire about them, or you used to, you know, when you first knew them. You loved that they were creative, and they're still like that. They probably have a lot of knowledge about whatever their field of expertise in is, you know, whether that's art or music or whatever. And I actually think you aspired to have, you know, maybe a partially creative career or a job. I don't think it was totally creative. It was something that was something around that. You know, what I mean by that is maybe you wanted to be something like an architect or a photographer's assistant, something that kind of marries being technical and being creative and kind of pushes them together, if that makes sense. So, but I don't think you did that. I think you might have been discouraged from doing that, and you kind of went on to something completely different. So I think this might actually be a sign to you, like some kind of a reminder that you can pursue this creative thing that you want to do, and that other people can pursue these creative fields and be successful. You know, so I think when you come into contact with this person, if you haven't already, you'll see them as an example of someone who's a successful creative person. That's what I'm seeing, and that'll kind of make you think, oh, I can do that as well. You know, it's not impossible. You know, and it's not impossible. There's a misconception when it comes to things like visual arts, you know, acting, music, things like that. That, you know, people have this idea that there are these kind of big famous people right at the top, and they're successful, and everyone else is sort of doing low-paid jobs, and that they don't want to do at the other end because, you know, they can't get into what they want. And of course, there are situations like that. There are people in those extremes, but there are also a lot of people that probably no one's ever heard of that are making a decent living doing these things. We just don't hear about them. There are a lot of actors that just have regular jobs. There are a lot of artists that do things, illustrations, all sorts of things like that. They're not world famous, but they just do their jobs. They just earn money like everyone else. So if you're still feeling as if you've missed out on doing what you'd love to do, it's not too late. That's what this card's telling you. It's not too late. It really isn't. So just try. You can still pursue things while you're doing your normal job. Just try doing something. Make a start. Make a little start somewhere, if that's what you want to do. So the next card you have for your presence, the Hermit. Yeah, I think if this is all making sense to you, if this is what you'd really like to do, this kind of creative thing or partially creative thing, you're going to have to do a little bit of soul searching. And yeah, I think also in the back of your mind you have this financial hit that happened to you, and you're thinking, oh, if I do this creative thing, I'll be poor and I'll be broke and that'll be a disaster and I can't leave my job. You don't have to leave your job. You can stay where you are and you can still research into this new thing. You don't have to. Don't fear this. It's going to be okay. There are safe ways of moving up into these new things. And yeah, you'll probably take your time to weigh all of this up, but I think it is on your mind and I think you're going to be doing this. But yeah, it's in your nature to weigh all these things up and it's going to take time. So that's fine, as long as you're kind of taking some kind of action toward what you want to do, that's absolutely fine. The other thing I'm seeing here is, I'm seeing a couple, and I think they might be relatives of yours, or they might even be your parents. It doesn't have to be, but this is an older couple and they're close to you. And I am seeing relatives. And it's a bit sad, really, what I'm seeing here, because I think someone's having to suddenly rely on themselves. There might be some kind of sudden breakup, something like that, where one person sort of left to cope on their own. Yeah, it's really, really sad. I'm not sure what's happened, but someone's on their own and they're trying to cope on their own. So whoever this is, they're going to need your help, and there might be travel involved as well. I think you'll probably have to travel to help them out. I'm getting this feeling that maybe you've had a bit of a difficult relationship with this person, so there's a lot of emotion around this as well, difficult emotions. But I think you'll be happy to help them out. I think you want to help them. But there's a little bit of difficulty around this, but I think you're going to be able to do this. So the last card you have, your presence, the Hierophant. Yeah, so this is this thing I was seeing in the Nine of Pentacles, this thing you've been putting off. And you're afraid of someone. That's what I'm seeing. You're afraid of this person. I think whoever this is, they can be quite intimidating, actually. Not because of what they say, it's just this air they have about them. I think they have this air around them of kind of I'm superior. So if that's resonating, don't be fooled by that. They might act as if they're in authority or that they're in charge of a lot of people or everyone, but they're not. And you have every right to ask them. You have every right to talk to them and sort all of this out, whatever this is. And I actually think they're under some kind of obligation to sort this out for you. They're just not doing anything about this. And they're relying on the fact that you might be afraid of them to kind of let this slide. And yeah, I think there is a reason why they're just letting this slide. It's in their benefit to do this. So yeah, I think it might be benefiting them financially. I'm seeing that again. So if that all makes sense to you, please do something about this as soon as you can. Act on this. Act on this, because I've got this feeling that time's, ticking past. And, if you just let it slide, things are going to get worse and worse and worse for you, financially probably. So, you've had this financial hit, so you don't want to have more financial problems. So please do something about this if that resonates with you. So the first card you have for your future is the Eight of Cups. So, okay, yeah, I'm seeing this love situation again. And what I'm seeing is, the outcome of this is actually looking really, really positive. I know this can be a negative card, I know that. But this person who's coming close to you, they've come a long, long way to be close to you. And they don't realise that. And you don't realise that. Nobody does. But this sequence of events is happening to kind of bring them to you. And this is why they've come all the way back. And it's partially to see you again. That's what I'm seeing. I know this is probably going to sound really strange. But, I think I think if you'd gotten into a proper relationship years ago, I think you might have been in some kind of relationship with them, or you're interested in them years ago. But I think if you had have had a relationship with them at that time, you wouldn't have been ready and they wouldn't have been ready. You probably wouldn't have been mature enough. Yeah, there are a lot of different reasons why you wouldn't have been ready. It's like they had to go away, just like the man on this card, and they had to travel around, just like this man who's walking around this hill, and he's coming back around again to come back to you again. And that's what this person's doing. It's really beautiful. I love this. I really hope this does resonate with you. And yeah, they do have a lot to work through. They've been through a lot emotionally, practically, and it's going to take time for them to walk away from all those old emotions. But I think you're going to help them to do that. I think you are. It's really nice. I love this. So the next card you have for your future is the King of Cups. Okay, this can be a really complex card. It's very complicated. You know, he keeps a lot to himself, this king. He keeps a lot of his emotions to himself. Sometimes he can explode when it all gets too much. Not literally, but yeah, I think this is about this person I was seeing who you're going to be helping. Yeah, you're going to have to spend a lot of time around this relative, quite a bit of time. Yeah, this is this person I was seeing. And because you've had some ups and downs with this person in the past, and because I'm seeing you having to travel for this, you might be spending a lot of time around them. You might even have to stay with them in their home. And yeah, I think that'd be really, really stressful for you if you had to do that. So I'm really feeling stress around this. So yeah, if that resonates, and you know, if you're traveling to be with someone like that, especially if you're flying, this might sound horrible, but try and stay in a hotel if you can, or at least make sure you have transport, a hire car or something like that, so that you can just get away for a while if you need to. Because you know, I know you'll be trying to help them, but there's a lot of tension around them, and I am seeing a storm brewing here. They're about to kind of explode, I think. So just watch out. Yeah, of course help them because they'll need it, but be self-preserving as well. So if you need to get away at any time, you can just say, well, yes, I'll see you later, bye. And you can just get in your car and drive away, come back, you know, at another time, you know, when you feel this kind of starting to brew. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your future is the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, I know I keep on seeing this relationship all the way through this reading, and I think this is something that hasn't happened yet, and it's developing now, and you're going to meet up with this person. So this is a rejoining, this is a reunion. It's going to happen slowly, but I think this will suit you, and I think you'll both be happy with whatever stage you're at whatever time. You know, everything's kind of developing at the right time. They're arriving back at the right time, you'll be there at the right time, and it's all just going to fall into place. There's so much love here. Look at the way this page is staring up this coin, and there's passion there as well, passion on his mind, because there's red around his head. And I just think you're just going to enjoy taking the time to learn about each other. It's really, really beautiful. So let it all just happen in the time that it happens. Don't stress about this. Don't think, oh, where am I going with this relationship? Are they going to like me? Are we going to see each other tomorrow, the next day? Don't worry about any of that. What I'm seeing here is everything's just happening at the right time, at the time it's supposed to be. So Libra, I hope this resonated. I feel like I need to apologise to you because I'm really tired. I'm doing this reading. I am a bit tired. I've got a bit of a croaky voice. So I really, really hope you understood what I was saying. I was trying to articulate what I was saying. So I just hope I wasn't too tired and wasn't too crazy for you. But yeah, if you liked this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.